know how many calories are in 100 grams of mayonnaise? 700, with 77 grams of fat and... that's it, just fat and hella calories. For the last 20 years, I have been using this mayo replacement as a condiment, spread, and dip. Every 100 grams has 1/5 the calories of mayo and 13 grams of protein. I'll not only teach you how to make this 4-ingredient dip in just 5 minutes, but also show you 4 creative ways to maximize its use.
Oh my god.
Let's get into it. To begin, we will focus on the most important ingredient. Obviously, for this recipe, it is crucial to find a good base that is going to replace a majority of the consistency and taste of mayonnaise. While an easy option would be just to use light mayo since it has about 1/3 of the calories, it still doesn't give us a better macro profile besides lower fat content. Greek yogurt makes a perfect start to a mayo replacement as it has 90 calories in 170 grams, while mayo has 100 calories in just 15 grams. Greek yogurt also has 18 grams of protein per serving. However, Greek yogurt needs some help to become a true mayo replacement because it has a tangy flavor and the consistency is not nearly as smooth. During the testing process, I tried several potential ingredients and different ingredient amounts for the best calorie to taste ratio. From the looks of it, I am sure you can tell which one was my favorite. The easy winner, which is also widely available, was lower fat cream cheese. It provides a smooth, creamy mouthfeel while also covering up the tangy flavor of the yogurt. To make mixing it as easy as possible, I left the cream cheese out on the counter for the last few hours to bring it to room temperature. These 2 ingredients can be combined to make a good mayo replacement on their own, but the recipe I tried 20 years ago was initially used as a dip. These last 2 ingredients greatly enhance the overall flavor of the recipe while simultaneously adding both protein and volume. Later I'll reveal how you can make this in just 5 minutes, but first, let's take this recipe up a notch with a major upgrade. It only takes a couple more minutes, but trust me, the results are well worth it. I chose center cut bacon for this recipe since it offers a better macro profile than traditional bacon. That said, if you can't get your hands on center cut, regular bacon is a perfectly fine substitute. It's honestly stupid how easy it is to make bacon. Spread each slice out evenly on a sheet pan and move it into a 450-degree oven for 10 to 14 minutes. I also recently moved myself, during which I had very little time to do recipe testing, let alone make meal preps, which brings us to today's video sponsor, Factor. With Factor, I just open my fridge, poke some holes, and microwave for 2 minutes. Once each meal is plated, it legitimately looks like a restaurant quality meal. It also tastes like it too.
Holy shit, that's good.
All of the meals have about 40 grams of protein and 500 to 600 calories, which fit perfectly into any diet and are simple to log into a calorie tracking app. To top it off, I forgot to change my address, so my meals sat at my old place for 24 hours. But thanks to their excellent packaging, they were still cold and tasted just as fresh and delicious as always. If you want to try Factor for yourself, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code E4CM50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code E4CM50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. While the bacon cooks, I like to grab my knife and get the last ingredient out of the way. That is a tomato. You heard that correctly. The most time-intensive part of this entire recipe is cutting up a thick, ripe, juicy tomato. For those of you wondering, yes, this is a tomato bacon aioli or BLT dip. You pick. The tomato adds volume to the recipe as well as another layer of texture and flavor. By the way, I have tried to make this with lettuce as it is called BLT dip and it just becomes wilted and actually makes the dip worse. However, I will show you the perfect way to incorporate lettuce later in the video. Now, we don't want the seeds of the tomato, so I just cut the tomato in half, scoop out all of the seeds, and slice the tomato into strips. I then dice it up into small bite-sized pieces and place 150 grams into a medium bowl. After 12 minutes, my bacon is looking like this, which is my preferred crispiness. I will use a dough scraper to get the bacon loose, place it on paper towels to drain, and allow to cool. P.S. I like to store the leftover bacon and use it as a flavor enhancer in recipes that call for oil or butter, like my protein pitas. pitas. While the bacon cools, we will grab a large bowl and add 450 grams 0% Greek yogurt and 100 grams of cream cheese. Before we add the other ingredients, it is important we take a minute to combine these two completely so that you don't get bites with only cream cheese while getting other bites with only Greek yogurt. Then we will take all of our bacon and chop it down as well. I like to make some very small pieces mixed in with some larger pieces. If you want to make this a 5-minute recipe, the go-to move here is to use pre-cooked bacon pieces. Just make sure you use real bacon here and not the fake stuff. The real bacon has similar calories to the center cut bacon, but takes away the baking time and makes for one less thing to chop. Making your own bacon is definitely a level or two above on the Flavor Town scale, but you can't beat a recipe that is ready start to finish in 5 minutes. We'll add it to the bowl along with the tomato and mix everything one more time. It is now ready to eat, but I would caution against it. It is still very good, but if you let the flavors blend together for at least 1 or 2 hours and give it another stir, you will get a greatly enhanced dish. And if you wait a full 24 hours, you will get absolute peak flavor that will have your eyes rolling in the back of your head with each bite. This recipe was added to my cookbook 2 weeks ago, and you could join the thousands already using these recipes to help achieve their weight loss goals while getting all future updates for free by clicking the link in the description below. While this isn't the typical condiment, I have used it in place of mayo over the last 2 decades in various ways.
This is how you turn the BLT dip into a true BLT recipe.
It doubles as a perfect dip for 1, fresh veggies, 2, your chip of choice, and trust me, there are plenty, or 3, my protein pitas. I won't judge you for eating it straight from the container either. It will last about 1 week in the fridge, and I would recommend making a half batch if you just want to test it out. If you want to see 2 recipes I eat instead of eating protein bars, you can check out that video here. They have just as much protein as a protein bar, but have 3 times the volume and taste like heaven, especially when you eat them when they are still warm from the oven. Until next time, deuces.